Hi there. Let's take a quick look at VPR, which is in the new version of Lightwave 10, which was released today. So got a model in the in layout, so we can have a look at this. So VPR is going to give you the viewport renderer basically, so giving you sort of instant or fairly quick feedback in comparison to pressing F9. Now, because it's not a an F9 render, that means, and it's relying on the viewport, you do need to set things up a little differently. So for instance, if you're going to do an F9 render, you can go and select your object, which we've got selected here. Let's put it down so we can see it's, there we go. So you can see it's got some hideous divisions, but you can, at least you can see what's going on. You can open up the object properties, and in object properties you've got display subpatch and you've got render subpatch. Now, because this is a viewport renderer, we need to set our display subpatch to be working in the viewport, so we get subdivided polygons. If we set this to 0, then when we use VPR, it will not subdivide those polygons. So it is reliant on having subpatch for display set up. Just so you know that, and all good to go. So now we can go and click on VPR, make that hit, and off we go. Little drop down. There we go. So we're using a Intel quad-core 2.4 gigahertz. Nothing exactly fantastic going on here. And this scene is lit with a HDRI image. That's my cat meowing, not being happy. A HDRI image and a area light. So let's go and just see what we can do. If you just leave it, you can see we get a pretty good render. Let's go and hit the camera and pull back on the camera so you can see what we're looking at, and push up. And we can sort of rotate around the thing a little bit and move across here. There we go. Bearing in mind I am recording this at the same time, so that's got a bit of a hit as well. So yeah, it's pretty good feedback on this. If you find you've got quite a large scene and you're just, say, concentrating on one area of it, you can do a limited region live render. So press the L key for that, and then you can sort of move around and grab. I can grab an edge on this and make it bigger, or I can grab this edge here and just drag it out. So I can just go and drag a little edge out and sort of resize my virtual viewport, and then I can just scroll it around the scene, and that's the bit I want to go and look at. So just to let you know that, and then you can press L key again to get out of that, and we're back to where we were a minute ago, which is a full screen render. Okay, so we're doing quite well on this, so it's pretty good. Doesn't support all surfaces and all shader types, but for general stuff it's quite good. Let's go and just change the colour of something so you can see something changing here. Now, I can't do the main panel because that's got a very large texture map on it, but I can go and change, say, the colour of these knobs here. So let's go and open up the surface editor and drag this over here. Let it kaplunk it, and we'll open that up, and we should be able to find knobs is selected here. Currently they're black, so let's just go and change their colour to be in hideous green, for instance. You can see we get a pretty good, pretty quick live update on this. Bearing in mind I am recording at the same time, so that does hit on the response of what you've got on screen. But yeah, pretty good stuff. And let's put it back to black because green looks hideous. Okay, put it back to blackish. There we go. Oh, you're not there, dark green. How about black? There we go. That's better. Right, the other thing we can have a quick look at regards VPR is over here in the corner. You can set up how you want it to run. So you got draft mode. You can knock it down to half resolution, for instance. Yeah, if you want to like speed things up. Again, you can do half resolution, or you can do a limited render. You can say how many frames per second you want it to run to. Also, you're saying here is where do you want to save your quick grabs, for instance. So I'm going to save my quick grabs to my desktop, and what happens now is if I've got a render that I'm just going to sort of say, well, yeah, that's sort of where I'm going with it. I just want to sort of save this file out as a picture. We can set it to being a preset of a JPEG. I've set it to say go and make this JPEG and put it on the desktop. And for me to go and sort of save this out now, press this top right hand corner just here, just click on that. I've now added a picture to my let's just go and preview that to my desktop, and there's my render. Okay, so I can sort of like kick that back again, and we're back to where we were. So that's all quite good, isn't it? Other things you can do is you can do OpenGL overlay, so you can see your scene, so you can see your camera, And the thing you do need to be aware of with viewport render is it does render the whole viewport. So if you put the overlay on, you can actually see what your camera is looking at. The other interesting thing is I can also go to my perspective view, and I can actually do VPR through a perspective camera. So I can then just go and move in and not like I would normally do here, just zoom in and move around. Yeah, so I can sort of rotate around. That does me over there. There you go. So you don't have to use viewport renderer through the camera. You can use viewport renderer through perspective view, and you can probably even do it through the light view. Yes, you can. How cool is that? So yeah, all good stuff, isn't it? So quite a big deal, really, I'd say. That really just covers a couple of things in VPR. You got some drop downs here. Have a play with all these guys. You got OpenGL wireframe. Does that do anything different? Well, no, currently. Or it doesn't appear to. But yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? So there you go. So quick overview on Lightwave 10's VPR renderer. Interesting to know. This will be interesting if we ever get it to resolve, because I keep moving it. Let's knock that off for a minute. Get rid of that. Let's just resolve this out, and I want to do a quick render or a quick save from the viewport. So let's do that. Okay, we'll save that from the viewport, and we'll go and preview that. Okay, so if you do a preview, even if you have the OpenGL overlay, it doesn't save the overlay on that, just so you know. So I didn't know that till I tried it, just thought I'd do that. So yeah, there you go, quick VPR, and there you have it. It's quite useful, quite good, quite gadgety, and you know, don't forget you do have limited region rendering, so you can scale things around a bit and do what you need to do. That's quite nifty, I would definitely say. So yeah, catch you later. See ya. Oh yeah, Happy New Year, by the way.